Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Today we're going to be focusing on 3 altcoins in particular and juxtaposing them next to one another in an effort to deduce which is the best altcoin at this time given their current price predicament. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. We're going to be talking about Algorand, Enjin Coin, and also Solana. So let's dive right into the video. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and of course like the video if you like the idea of these different altcoins being compared with one another in an effort to deduce the best possible play going forward. So this is Algorand and this is the monthly time frame. So we have a very simple range right over here. Very simple range, and at the moment you've seen successive subsequent monthly candles where you're just seeing ALGO manage an upside trajectory that's very controlled and gradual, and now just building a solid foundation in this range low, just gliding across from it in an effort to just confirm this area as a support. And you see here, this was actually still a resistance in some way, but now you're seeing a support here and a support here, especially at an inclining low tendency. So we're seeing a higher low here developing. So Algorand is reaffirming its price positioning in this area, managing to hammer out a base in an effort to just follow through on this blue pathway. And you can see here, before, when this green area was a support, we saw a nice move towards the upside. And over here as well, this support took twice as long to form, but nonetheless we saw a rally towards the red area once again. So it's quite likely that we might see history repeat itself by establishing a base over here and rallying from this base around 80% towards the red level. But at the same time, we have to understand that we tend to see FOMO wicks beyond this level. So this wouldn't be where ALGO would finish up its rally necessarily. We might see some overextension beyond that point, as we have seen in the past right over here and over here. So that's Algorand in a nutshell. So there is quite some opportunity here in terms of upside should it indeed reaffirm itself as a support and follow this blue pathway by springboarding from that strong foundation into a new uptrend. Because we haven't seen that much upside from Algorand. We haven't seen that much sustainable upside, at least. And now that we're seeing support holding right over here, that could change in the next few weeks. What about Enjin Coin? Well, Enjin Coin has had a fantastic run up already, and it's also in a range. But what we need to bear in mind is, can this range hold? This range low really needs to hold right over here in order to maintain the bullish momentum. And in fact, if it does hold over here, then we will see that this was only the downside that it managed to perform, which isn't a lot. So holding this area, given the limited amount of downside it has experienced since reaching those new all-time highs, that would be fantastic to just see that holding this support and not needing to retrace any deeper, quite positive indeed. So holding here would enable for consolidation towards the red level and just consolidation inside this range overall, but it would need to break past here in order to move much higher, in which case this resistance, and this resistance would be on our radar. But in any case, really needs to hold here, and as long as it does, then we can be bullish to an extent within this range. But it's quite likely that Enjin Coin will consolidate inside here before actually trying to confirm a trend, whether that's towards the upside or to the downside by breaking down from here. So consolidation and no real drastic moves lie ahead for Enjin in its future, which means that Enjin Coin is a worse setup in terms of upside compared to Algorand. It looks like Algorand has a much better setup in that regard. So out of the two already, where Enjin Coin kind of is setting itself up for no real volatility, perhaps just inside this range, until it confirms a direction by breaking past any of these levels, we can't yet decide on the trend for Enjin Coin. So Algorand looks much better at the moment. But what about Solana? Can Solana actually challenge Algorand and actually be a better setup than Algorand at the moment? Well, this is Solana, and this is a setup, a macro predicament that I shared in the Rekt Capital newsletter in early November. And you can see how we see a rounded bottom over here, end up in a rounded top, and then a rounded bottom formulate once again. And you can see how this, of course, turned into a second rounded bottom right over here, perfectly rallying over 1000% since. And that's phenomenal, because the newsletter, the Rekt Capital newsletter, is only $10 a month, but Solana has rallied over 1000%. So the Rekt Capital newsletter might be worth looking into. But in any case, Solana has only rejected from its new all-time high most recently, and already it's slowing down in its retrace, perhaps trying to find a base somewhere around these regions. And it's very difficult to say where that base will be, because we've never really been here before in the past. There are no price characteristics suggesting to us that we know where our support is, but we're already seeing slowing down in the sell side momentum. Of course, this area is a fantastic support area, but it's unlikely we'll retrace there in this bull cycle at least. These are still supports that we can bear in mind, but we see slowing down. They're slowing down at the moment, and it's really important to see whether Solana can solidify a base anywhere around here or even in this area. And if it can, what sort of market structure would it build at that point in time? Those are some of the things I'm going to be watching for, because should a market structure form after this retrace, then Solana could still rally into price discovery, breaching these new all-time highs, and breaking into price discovery. We could still see quite a lot of upside from Solana, because we've seen a fantastic rally after breaking its old all-time highs already, and it's perhaps too soon to say that the rally, the uptrend, the macro uptrend is over and that we won't see new all-time highs, because there's still strength at the moment in this retrace. So it will be interesting to see how much could Solana still rally into price discovery, and would it be 80%? Would it be more than Algorand? Well, it's very difficult to say whether price discovery in Solana will actually outpace this upside for Algorand. That's an unknown quantity for Solana. But Algorand here, history is suggesting that an 80% rally lies ahead. So let's see, because comparing Algorand to Enjin Coin and to Solana is a bit of an unknown quantity in terms of the price discovery, but it could really see some nice upside. But Algorand seems like the safer bet in that sense that we know what it's capable of, whereas Solana is giving us a bit more uncertainty in terms of how much it could rally into price discovery. But once Solana gets to that point, it would be very interesting to see how much it could rally, because that would be essentially that the sky is the limit in price discovery. Beyond this point, no resistance lies ahead, so it could turn into a phenomenal rally. But in terms of knowing what to expect and waiting for history to repeat itself, it looks like Algorand is the clear winner in this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and of course share with me which coins would you like me to look at in the next series of Who Will Win, where I just compare a few altcoins together in an effort to just find out which is the best setup out of all of the ones mentioned. Having said that, that's about it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you'd like to see more videos like this in the series, and of course subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.